His path to becoming the serial killer known as Heartless was set in motion by the same event that sent Dick Grayson on his path to becoming Nightwing. Let's get into it and find out who is Heartless. Shelton Lyle is the true name of the man who would become the serial killer known as Heartless. Shelton was the son of an extremely wealthy family in Gotham. His father, Geralds Lyle, was an insurance executive. Very early in life, Shelton showed signs of being a little different. He never spoke or showed emotion. He spent his time doing devious activities like torturing animals and starting fires. His parents were overwhelmed, so they hired a butler to help him with Shelton. The Lyles were unaware that a sociopath killer had killed the man they had hired to be their butler and taken his identity. The Lyles, never having met Gerald Chamberlain, were none the wiser. Gerald's plan was to charm his way into the Lyles' will and then kill them. His plan changed rather quickly as he became fascinated with young Shelton's psychopathic tendencies. He also realized Geralds Lyles was not the type of man that would add him into his will. Gerald took to Shelton and began to encourage his behavior. He exposed Shelton to new experiences, like trips to the butcher, the zoo at feeding time, and that fateful visit to the circus. It was on that visit that Shelton witnessed the Flying Graysons fall to their death at the circus. When he saw the emotions on Dick Grayson's face after seeing his parents die in front of him, he was exhilarated by it. On the ride home, the kid who never spoke or showed any emotion couldn't stop gushing about how awesome it was to see Dick Grayson's face after his parents died. Gerald told Shelton to keep it a secret from his parents because they wouldn't understand his enjoyment of what he had just seen. The events of that day brought Shelton straight out of his shell. He became an outgoing, charismatic young man, keeping his darker side secret from all except Gerald. Later, when he was of age, his parents left everything to him in their will. Gerald then waited for a week and then made his move to eliminate Mr. and Mrs. Lyles from the picture. But as chance would have it, Christopher Lyles decided his son would accompany them to see the offices. The helicopter exploded and crashed to the ground. Shelton survived and was dragged from the crash by Gerald. In the hospital, Shelton received a heart transplant. Shelton came to and was glad to find out that his parents were dead and it was now just him and Gerald. Shelton had incurred numerous injuries from the crash, but instead of treating his injuries, the two decided to replace them with enhanced parts. With all the enhancements, Shelton now had superhuman strength, speed, reflexes, and durability. The downside was the enhancements put a large strain on his heart, requiring it to be replaced quite often. Time passed, and about a decade later, the duo moved from Gotham to Bloodhaven and founded a pharmaceutical company. By day, he was a CEO, and by night, he was a serial killer known as Heartless. He would stalk the alleys of Bloodhaven, hunting for homeless families. When he found one, he would then kill the parents in front of the children and take his victim's heart. He loved seeing the terror in the eyes of the victim's children. Eventually, all the homeless killings came to the attention of Dick Grayson, who was now Nightwing. After a series of events led Nightwing to a homeless camp, Nightwing and Heartless came face to face for the first time and battled. Heartless escaped by setting off an explosion. He later killed Blockbuster, the crime boss of Bloodhaven. Gerald then implanted the heart into Shelton, feeling that Blockbuster's oversized heart would be able to keep up with his enhancements. As the new crime lord of Bloodhaven, Heartless and his men overran the Bloodhaven prison, freeing the criminals. He was ecstatic to meet Tony Zuko during the prison break, since he was the man that had killed the Graysons. Nightwing and the Titans arrived to quell the prison break, but Heartless and Zuko were able to evade them. Heartless continues to adventure in the DC universe, waiting for the right time to watch Dick Grayson lose everything all over again. Well, that's the origin of Heartless, and that's a wrap for today's video. As always, I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to stop by the channel and check out these videos. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you again real soon. I'm out. Peace.